the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
First carry now for Alex Collins.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Collins. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On third down, Vic. Eluding the pressure right. Nice move at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Vic will look to throw on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10.
By 90, by 20, by 20. Step. Hey, let's go.
It's a play fake. Now Vic. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Noah Spence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
By 20, by 20. Eagle. Zip.
On play action, Vic. Flush to his right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. In for the score. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
This is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Throwing, Vic. And he rifles one incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Vic on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, it's Vic. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Barnett. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. If it was sunny, maybe this is a field goal attempt. But with the rain, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Let's go.
It'll be Vic once more. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And as a result, possession switches hands. And here now the offense heading back out there. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Over the middle to Evans. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again. Yeah,
we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
20.
A second down throw for Vic. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Vic readies to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
90.
Vic to the air again. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result.
Well, he cannot get away. Down goes Vic. Noah spins in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now they'll run it on the toss, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down.
Get there. Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Gun. Hut.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Leopard. Gun.
He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! O.J. Howard, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Right 20.
Vic operating on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. Vic to throw it. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A first down throw coming for Vic. Steps away to his left. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. From the shotgun, it's Vic. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. That's complete, right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at a third and goal here. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and goal. From the gun, Vick. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll throw now on the final play. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A give to Jones. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Evans. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Let's go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw here is incomplete. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
This offense so far on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Pick it up.
They're going to look to throw. This is caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They go back to the ground with Jones. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here we go now.
They'll go again to Jones. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. On play action, they'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, there have been stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Vic will look to throw on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Ravens have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or a man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Welcome back now here in London, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Jones, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And Catanzero's kick is right through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Vick. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Barnett. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. First down, Vic. It's complete to Snead. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll throw again. Here's Vic. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now here's Vic. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Vic to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Vic. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. Trying to punch it in with Collins. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Here's Vic. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Set! 319! 319! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle to Evans. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well.